Innovative.
What's good, everybody? Now tuned into the ProHustle Zone with Moan, where we talk about all things ProHustle, and it's all about mastering the craft and monetizing the skills. Feel me? I want y'all, everybody, real quick, go give a shout out, like, follow, comment, subscribe, all that to Innovative Culture. You know what I mean? YouTube, Instagram, ProHustle Zone, both of them. Feel me? That'd be a big help. Put a couple of likes down there on some comments, A, B, C, D. You feel me? We got a special guest today, comedian. Second comedian on the show, so hopefully this motherfucker will be funny, because I think I'm a comedian as well, but not no stand-up type. But hey, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's Tony Grams, Mr. High and Fly. Tony Grams on IG, TONY_GRAMS. I'm a cast member of Innovative Comedy on Innovative Culture, stand-up comic, host, and shit, regular LA nigga, so it was good.
Most Def Grams, it's good to have you up on the show, bro. Let everybody know your pro. I just told them your pro, so but you know what I mean, break it down. Let them know where it all started from. You feel what I'm saying?
Shit, just like West Side LA and Mid-City, Midtown area. Grew up, did music for years, and you know other little shit. And kind of slowly after that, kind of lost kind of like my interest in it. I don't know, still interested, but just I wasn't feeling it at the moment. Took some time off. It just kind of fell into comedy. And it should have been working ever since, so that's what I've been running with.
Real quick, so some of the people that's watching out there don't know that, don't think that you a bullshit ass comedian. Real quick, give him that little announcer voice. Give him something stupid real quick on that announcer voice that you just fucking did real quick.
With the Ahmad Rashad live from the NBA, that Marv Albert.
That one, get
by
that
the bitch
other
in
one
the
like,
back. Like, it's like you get to the Marv Albert voice. And sometimes it's just random, depending on. It's like I'm more like I go on references or like when we're in a conversation and somebody says something and it's something you can just say. That's kind of like
I like what you did with the fat bitch booty in the back.
That sound like Rodney. That was
a Rodney.
That was a Rodney. Yeah.
So what first got you? Like I ain't gonna say what got you. Break down your story, your journey. You feel me? What's your process? Break down your story, your journey, so everybody can know exactly how you got into it, made you fall in love with telling the comedy. You know what I mean? Going away from the music and all of that.
It was just the music. After a while, it was multiple things. Like I was in a group, and then it was like different shit with that. But after a while, I just had to do my own shit, and then just seeing where music was going and how shit sounded, radio shit, just the whole hustle behind that of like fuckery with just. We had like distribution deals with like Sony and different like people that were like big name people where you kind of see the contract and you get geeked because they're interested,
right?
But there's really there's no return in it for you. They're
for
just
you,
like
yeah,
it's like,
I know what you're saying.
When you kind of the only person that see that, and the other people are kind of just geeked to sign something, then it's kind of like I guess, but you just go with it, but. After a while, it wasn't even like the industry did shady shit, but it was
you
just...
You had bars? I don't mean to cut you off.
I had bars. At that time, I felt like you had to like have bars to even be like considered a fucking rapper or like anything. You can't just be just rhyming goofy shit together. Even if you're doing that, do it with talent somewhat. It's... After that, after a while, I just stopped doing the shit, kind of got into art here and there. This nigga fiending in the back. He said, please.
For the fucking blood.
Yeah, I got to relight even.
God damn. I know, that's what I'm saying.
God damn.
So, what made you fall in love with wanting to be a comedian? You feel me? Like,
it was something people always told me to do. Like,
funny personality or like goofy?
A little bit of both. I always said like shit that a lot of other people wouldn't say, even in conversation. It was to the point like we'd be around people, if somebody say some weird or crazy shit, everybody kind of look at me because they know I'm gonna usually be the first person to respond or say something back.
In class and shit.
In class, in the streets, in clubs, like in the studio. It was just not like I'm a super outspoken, but if it just needs to be said, I'm usually like 95% of the time I'll say it first.
Most
and everybody else will be thinking it, but nobody usually says shit. And then it's not that I don't have a filter. It's just I don't know, maybe I don't give a fuck, but it just needs to be said sometimes. So that's another thing with comedy is shit needs to be said sometime, and on top of it, make people laugh. So after people would tell me, you know, I did security at bars, and a lot of the people that was the regulars or the people that work next door would be like, yo, you need to be on the stage, or, you know, you don't need to be at this door. You need to be working on the stage. You funny as fuck. And I just kind of felt like, nigga, I ain't even trying, and motherfuckers think I'm hilarious, so I might as well. I ended up quitting my job, and not to do comedy. I just ended up quitting over, like, just getting into it with the management. The owner was cool, but the management was like shithead. So, like, after a while, I was just like, I'm cool, and fell back. But I kind of, that same day I quit, one of my friends that she does my tattoos, well, I'm in the shop, and she was just like, yeah, don't trip. I got tickets to a show. Went to a show on Sunset and ended up just seeing certain comics that I had conversations with like 15 years prior as a rapper, and they were comics, but I was at the Comedy Store or just see them, and it just kind of clicked of like that shit, you know, if like you watched this person growing up, you met them when you were rapping, and now you watching them on stage again, like where you at this kind of crossroads. So I just took that as a sign, like fuck it, and got at the promoter, Warren V. He hooked me up and made me a flyer and had me on stage. I was doing my shit, and been doing that shit since. And he even told me when I started, like, it's usually 2 to 3 feelings. Like, either you know it's for you, you know, oh, I shouldn't be doing this shit, or you feel like, all right, I can get better at it. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like I felt something, maybe I'll give it another try, and then after that. But he's like, usually, so when I got up there, and I didn't like super kill, but I got like some chuckles, and then the second time I did way better, to where people was like, I had no idea this, like, you know, you were new at this shit. Like, I thought you like
comfortable. They seen you're confident.
And I think that came from just rapping and being on stage for years, doing shows out of state, and it's all in Hollywood, underground shit. You know, everybody be at the Airliner downtown with all the rap. Like, everybody was West Coast rappers back in the day. Like, everybody be at the Airliner, so you gotta come hard with your shit. So being on stage in front of people it was just, all right, I hope these motherfuckers laugh. So, and shit, that's about it.
Did you see a big difference between showing goofy and funny personality and really getting up there and performing jokes?
Yeah, I mean, because I see people that get up there and they just try to do goofy shit, throw themselves into the wall or flop around on the stage.
Yeah, I see some stupid shit like
and
that. That'll be funny.
And they laughing harder at they. But that nigga used to be funny though. He was funny with it though.
On one?
No, that's was he on the one-on-one? Wow, Arnez.
I thought for one-on-one.
Wasn't that Cousin Skeeter and shit? Wasn't that nigga? Yeah. He like he one of the Chocolate City niggas on one of them BET dancing shows or some shit I see now. Well, I don't know what the fuck happened. That shit just went left. But yeah, honestly, just this. I've seen comics that laugh, you know, try to laugh extra hard at their own jokes, and like to get other people that's like, that shit don't work. Like, you just look crazy now. Like, you up here just yeah, that's funny, huh?
I'm telling you, I thought about doing that before, no lie, just to see what it could get me. Because sometimes I be thinking I'm pretty funny, even when I'm going live on like when I'm being raw. Like, because a lot of people could know me to be both sides. You know, it's 2 different sides of me,
yeah.
2 different sides of people. You know what I mean? Some people get the genuine side and nice and all of that, and some people get the dickhead side. Yeah. You from pause.
And most people, like most comics, so if you look through history, all had like they weren't just. A lot of them weren't even super funny or likable people outside of being on stage. They were like considered either like a lot of them was drug addicts or assholes, had mental issues. Real, they had domestic violence issues, or they had crazy ass lives at some point to where they started doing comedy, and then while they were doing comedy, but they were still able to get on stage and just kill.
Perform.
And then, so it's like, sometimes you got to channel all the shit in, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, and then but sometimes you just keep going and see how it works, you know? That's about it, yeah.
Do you really enjoy getting up there and telling the jokes? Because, you feel me, I know you do it because you enjoyed it, and you know what I mean, like, you thought you could get better. You know what I mean? You want to pursue the career, but sometimes some people could pursue careers that you know what I mean?
They shouldn't be, or
that they don't like per se. You feel me?
I like
they just think it's Okay.
taste for it. I was like, this shit is sick. Cause it used to be moments before, like I'd be catching trains and buses to mics and shows, and I'd be going to a mic in Hollywood on the bus, like smoking, or at the bus stop smoking a blunt, and then I get on it the whole time with my earbuds in, like, man, I shouldn't even be going to this shit. I should have just stayed home. It would be like, and the nights, it seemed like I'd have the most negativity, like literally to where I got to make myself get dressed. I'm like literally on my couch watching a podcast or something, and it's like open mic at 7, and it's probably like 5:30, and I'm like, man, I ain't going. Fuck that. Then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. Then make myself go and get on the bus, and the whole time I'm like, man, wow, I should have just stayed home. I should just. And by the time I get there, then go up and end up like killing. And it would be like, damn, I'm glad I came. Like that happened a lot to where I stopped having that.
You gotta have
negative,
confidence in yourself.
like exactly,
Definitely.
like because it would be a lot of that. I did that for a few months every time I would hit open mics, and then it would be like, damn, I'm actually doing good, and people like me at these open mics. Like the jokes are hitting, and I'm getting better and better. So after a while, that shit just kind of went out of one ear. Like I didn't even say that to myself. I just go like, all right, fuck it. Or people will hit me up. You coming out? Or so it kind of like at first you get kind of like, hope they like it or hope this shit works. So I just don't look crazy up here. It's just I'm performing for a room full of like it's an empty room and shit. There's a couple plates on the table and like one person like looking, wiping the tables and shit. And you're like, yeah, trying to make jokes and shit. Like,
what makes the perfect joke? Like when I say that, it seems like just from my perspective, all the comedians that I really enjoy, Martin, Bernie, Dave, Kevin Hart tells some good jokes, but all of them seem like they draw from like what the fuck type crazy ass experience. You know what I mean?
It's
like
just the truth. That's like the
I was
best
about to
jokes.
ask you that.
The best jokes usually is just the truth. It's the telling your story. Because even those same comics I was talking about a few minutes ago, when I'm saying dudes that be laughing at their own jokes or just trying to do everything but tell a good joke, and usually you could see it on stage, especially when you watch the whole show, and everybody's killing, everybody's doing their thing or holding their own or doing good enough to where they did good. And then there's a person that's like, you could tell, okay, it's like you're trying, but you either think you better than you are, and it's like
you really don't have
and
it
it's at all, and you're trying, and it looks bad now. But even those people I've seen, when they tell jokes that are like the truth, or it's like it happened to them or something from their life, that shit is actually funny. They get laughs. You genuinely laugh at the shit because it's like, oh, okay, that shit, it really, they're talking about it in depth because it happened to them, experience or whatever. So I guess they have more knowledge on it, so they can go into the details. That's like funny.
Most def.
So
Most
it's
def.
usually like just the truth is always you can, unless you're just a good writer, and you can, but even with that, you got to pull from real shit to come up with a concept
But
of
it's
like
definitely gonna have to be upon relativity because everybody's not gonna,
just make
crowds
up shit.
and culture of people, unless like I know that some comedian do draw out a big crowd of like majority of a black crowd.
Yeah.
You feel me? While some people would be like, that motherfucker's Dave Chappelle, for instance, kind of be like, that motherfucker's mixed.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you listen to
And then
some,
it's like you got to think too, people like who could buy tickets, who could afford tickets. A lot of it be like, because it'd be sometimes Dave will come to pop in at the Comedy Store and it'll be like, you won't know. They'll be like, surprise guest next Thursday, tickets $100. And you be like, damn, but you know it got to be somebody. Martin, it's got to be Martin, Dave, Joe Rogan, somebody of like $100 worth is worth it. You know what I mean? That what you would
real
be
quick,
like.
now that you mentioned that, give everybody out there a good 5 comedy, you know what I mean, a good handful of comedy clubs to visit around LA, because there's times where me and my lady want to go out and we want to look at like, poetry or even comedy and stuff like that.
The Sunset Room on I think that's like Sunset and Gower, or like right above right above the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Like that's the famous club where the infamous smack happened a couple of weeks ago, where the comic got smacked into another.
We definitely
dimension.
gonna talk about that.
He got smacked into an alternate timeline and shit. And but that's a good spot. I mean, that's actually going for shows. They do like sometimes the promoters they'll put you up if they see like you come in and you bring people and you actually got jokes. But open mics, even it's good to hit like the bigger clubs to network, to find out where open mics are. So you should sometimes go to the Comedy Store, Improv, and like Ice House, and they have open mics where you could actually like network with people, or even if it's not the open mic, it's just everyone's there. You connect with people, and they tell you, "Oh, we going here Wednesday, we going here Thursday, tonight. Oh, after this, oh, it's this down the street." Because there's a lot of them in Hollywood, but especially now with like COVID and shit closing, it's kind of random. Of like mostly, it's a lot of different spots, like the Sugar Mic, hosted. I think that's hosted by Brendan Weeks. He does that off of like Western somewhere, and it's a lot of different kind of random because they switch up so much. So it's almost like just going out there and putting yourself out there to where people see.
Is there Instagram people could follow?
I mean, shit. I would think. Honestly, I can't even think of shit right now. I'm like, honestly, because a lot of the open mics they close or they move, and then it's like you'll be going.
A lot going on right
and
now.
So yeah, exactly. Like
Definitely.
before we had a Comedy Bureau, and that was like this website you can go on, and it was updated. It was one guy that ran it, and he just took donations, but it was free to get on, and it shows you every mic or show in whatever city that night. Like, so you can be like, oh, okay, I'm going to North Hollywood. Then at 5:30, then it's like some shit at 6:30. Like that's another mic, like the Ha Ha Club up in North Hollywood on Lancashire. They have a mic hosted by the homie Joe Beltran. He hosts one on Friday there at like 5:30, I believe. So that's actually a cool mic to hit up if you're in the North Hollywood area and shit. Other than that, it's just get out there and find out or put your own mic on. That's the best way to network too. Is just if you can get a space, your backyard, a garage, nigga, just do your own fucking, host your own mic, and then you meet people, and then those people will hit you up when there's shit going on and be like, and they'll be like, and once you keep doing your shit, it just puts you in a new like space of just knowing, meeting comics. It's just kind of connecting, and they all kind of keep you in the know of, hey, you want to come to this shit, or I'm going to this, or. So that's why a lot of people went to Texas too. Like all the shows, like they all popped up out there. Like Dave and Joe Rogan, everybody's in fucking Texas doing shows.
What was that? How you handle getting booed?
I've never got booed.
Yeah, I was about to say if you got booed.
I just like I said, I've had shitty mics where like maybe one or two I'm like, all right, this shit just ain't hitting. But yeah, I've never like had like I've had like not maybe people too drunk trying to like heckle or talk, and then you just kind of throw it back at them. Not even like mean or aggressive. But like it was, I remember one of the shows I did maybe 2 months ago, and it was like it was one of my best shows I've probably done in a minute. To where I can remember I tied like damn near every joke I've ever done into like a good 15, 20 minutes, and it just flowed perfect. Everybody was rolling, and then it was a couple. It was like a young black couple, and they were like talking like at the side, like sitting down, and they started getting louder and louder. And it wasn't like, I don't think they were like purposely doing it, like trying to heckle. So after a while, I just stopped, and they were like going, and I just kind of looked at it and was like, oh, I just wanted to hear y'all set. Like, you know what I mean? I want to hear what y'all got, like how long y'all been doing comedy.
You nicer than me.
I was like, what can I put that shit immediately? They were like, oh shit.
You nicer than me, because I would have walked over there and sat down, laid next to him and said,
put the mic to
God damn, bitch, what the fuck are we talking about? Really? Shit, can I get some of this?
Hit her and just tap her with the mic on
Dinner
top.
On you, oh, what the fuck
we're going to In and Out after this. Fuck
it.
But usually that's the best way, because I've seen people get mad at the crowd, and the crowd's not even booing them. It's just you not funny, and your jokes ain't going, and they hear crickets, so they like, man, fuck y'all, that's funny. Hey, nah, nigga, it really ain't. Like, now you ain't funny. Now you look crazy, and it's just how you deal with it. You can kind of, sometimes they say you can't, if you bomb and you can't really save it. But I've seen people like doing shitty sets, or just not even shitty. I've seen people doing like the shit's funny, but the room ain't reacting. Like they kind of like whatever, and they distracted, and
some
then
battle
like
raps be like that when they be saying some fire, and it's like, damn, what the fuck wrong with everybody? Yeah, they ain't feeling it
because they all there with the other nigga. That's what it is. Usually they all plants and shit. But and then I've seen dudes like stay somewhat bombing, and then say one thing, and the whole room like, oh, and they literally for the next 5 minutes got like nothing but laughs. So
you ain't got like 2 jokes for us, one or two good ones. I asked D this too.
I mean, because it's like mine. It's not really jokes. It's more like I kind of line it up so it's almost not like even a story, but it's.
Oh, you got that Dave Chappelle setup.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like.
So
jokes.
let me hear. Can we hear one? Can we get one on the zone?
Shit, damn. Now I got. It's like weird, like when they put you on the spot, you can't think.
I ain't mean to do that.
You know what I mean? You kind of like, I don't know. It's just weird the setup of just going into like I'll just talk about gentrification, and that was one I've been talking about. Like, how does anybody else get pissed off when they see white people on the 110 South? like you just drive and you be like, where the fuck are you going? Like, it just bothers me sometimes. Like where are you getting off on Imperial?
I did that not too long ago when I was driving to somewhere. We was coming back from downtown LA, but we took the streets back, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing jogging over here?
Exactly. Like, that was part of the joke also, because I just do.
Nigga don't even look worried.
The whole buildup of gentrification, I'll break it down into different sections of gentrified weed shops, gentrified homelessness, gentrified everything, and I talk about. That's how you know you've been gentrified when you see like the white dude jogging through your neighborhood with the little Three's Company shorts and no shirt, and he's like just on the corner checking his pulse.
He didn't have his shirt off.
Yeah, like, but it's either way when they jogging, when they're walking with the dog on the leash or the kid on the leash, and that's you've been gentrified. Like, so it's all shit like that. It's references and little plants of jokes and stuff I put in there. So, but it's usually the truth of shit I've seen of gentrification and
most def.
And I just make it funny of like say like homeless people. It's like now they're not even homeless or they're not even crackheads. They just identify as crackheads, and they just be out there. They in better shape than like me, and like I'll point like everybody in the crowd like nigga they in better shape than you nigga, and niggas be like laughing like these niggas. I'll tell one of like the homeless niggas, I was like, I like my smokers, like the old school smokers, all just like the menace to society smokers, like the niggas with the mucusy colored shirt. Like, I was like, you ain't never seen a smoker with a fresh white tee on or a fresh black one. If you see a smoker with a clean t-shirt, it's usually gray. Like, it's a fresh gray tee. Like, smokers are the only people that wear a fresh. You got a gray one on right now. But
it's a little beige. Definitely, I know what you mean.
But you know what? Smokers never wear any other t-shirt that's fresh but a gray one. When the normal color of a smoker shirt, the joke, I say it's a pecan spit. It's an ashy asphalt, a meth head mocha.
This nigga said meth head mocha.
So it's like, I was like, that ain't like that. Kanye ain't even got that colorway. Right? So you ain't gonna find that at the Home Depot pallet. But it's just that make people just get to laugh because they know. And I'm like, think back at every smoker you've seen from a movie. They always got that dirty. You only get that from like laying on the sidewalk and thinking.
It's like a butter with tie-dye gunpowder.
I always say like mucus, like
crack
snot.
Pipe and ash and all. Yeah, all of that.
It's like they done took a shit.
A little
like
bit of I slept here, I slept there, and
concrete. And so when I say it, I always make that joke, and then I talk about like that's the old school crackheads where they come up and try to compliment you. And, come on, nigga, I know you got it. You look like a rapper. Come on, you look like a rapper. I know you got it. But then
hold up, real quick. You make me tell one of my Hey, it used to be the hood smoker. When I grew up, coming up in LA, it was a hood smoker. I used to be playing basketball in the yard on Bandera. You feel me? We didn't have no grass, we had dirt. You feel what I'm saying?
That real shit, though.
Real shit. On the east side, we had dirt. You feel me? Till we moved the court to the street. One of our, rest in peace, Truman, Ghost. You feel me? He used to come down there and be like, hey, baby, throw me that ball. He be cut up and shit, no shirt on. You feel me? All tanned and shit, real strong.
Golden.
You're right, definitely golden. Call him Ghost. He be like, throw me that ball. Watch this. Hey, he shot that bitch. Wet. Hey, he backed up. He grabbed me and said, watch this one again, youngster. Wet. He said, when I was in school, that's all they did was call me money because they knew I was cash money. Straight bottom of the net. And then he'd roll off with his thing. He was real player.
This nigga played with Earl the Goat Manigault.
He was real. He was like a player smoker the way he was. No lie.
Yeah, that was what he probably was a b-ball player.
Yeah, not a smoker like that, but you
know
he
was a street saying. Like he was an outside nigga. Like outside
definitely,
the liquor store, outside
but
the
you know
apartments.
he respectable though.
Yeah, you see him outside all the time.
But he was funny though.
And there'd be a lot of niggas like that. They be like, I've seen old niggas that be on the corner sleeping. They own the building across the street, and they just outside on the corner, and they ain't even smoking dope. They just outside drinking all fucking day. And they ain't doing crazy shit. They just outside. So, but it's shit like that. These new, and I was talking about how they gentrified the new smokers, or they're not even smokers, and like they won't ask you for change. You walk in the store to get some blunts and shit, and they be like, nigga, I ain't got it. They like, you be like, I'm using my card, man. Walk in the store. These niggas see you looking at you through the window the whole time. Wait till you get to the register.
He got the thing on his phone.
Nigga slide up to you. Hey, man, you got Cash App? Like, nigga, you don't get away. The nigga notify a profile pic on his Cash App. He got a pipe and shit. Like, I'm like, that's these new smokers, nigga. So it's that I work that whole shit.
You be kind of funny, Grams. I ain't gonna lie. I be watching the comedy show. I be like, this nigga be saying like when you hit
it's just for references. I be trying to hit.
You hit
like,
it yesterday with the Bobby Brown outsmoked everybody and he's still looking good.
That
and
joke,
he outdid the versus battle versus Keith Sweat in the Nino Brown suit.
That nigga still had the Nino Brown wedding outfit on. Like he had that on in New Jack City when he was singing, and the shit got shot up.
Because that's all I can picture.
The Italians didn't give a fuck. They was about to let that
me.
nigga Keith Sweat
Put the camera on me, like Keith Sweat was in there.
He was like, man, and now it's like stiff. He was like, it was just like his shoulders don't detach. He's like. He's binded. Like so like, but that joke,
Bobby
honestly,
was fucking
that
it up.
Bobby Brown joke has been killing. Like that shit has been like literally like fucking shit up. Like when I do that joke everywhere, it gets a good reaction of like niggas be just rolling like, yo, bro, that shit.
Shout out to Grindface tapping in the ProHustle zone.
Hey, that's
Everybody
right. That's right.
Tapped in. You feel what I'm saying? Don't want to forget about y'all too, but I'm just saying though, gotta get gotta get them off. You feel what I'm saying?
So it's. Honestly, it's just like all it is getting out there and making it, practicing. Practice makes perfect, especially if you actually do got some talent or some shit and just getting better with it. Anything you practice at art, music, any art, painting, acting, rapping, writing.
I want to do it, but I'm afraid I'm going to get booed and then I'm going to just start ripping everybody in the crowd.
All it is just, like, you just make sure you got some
shit.
That shit. I've honestly never even seen like none of his stand-ups, but I've seen like clips of him spazzing like on certain people or I think he fired on somebody.
If you watch like the 85 South show, like I said last time, Carlos does. I didn't know Carlos was actually up on Comedy View a couple of times. I didn't know that, but Carlos tell good jokes. You feel me? He could get up there and tell good jokes. He don't necessarily just have to go in the crowd, but sometimes up on the 85 South show, DC, he tell the crowd a whole nother one, no lie. Like I don't see him telling too many jokes all the time. It's just
like
really
stories
yeah.
Shit is, and a lot of times certain comics that fall into that, they fall into thinking, or I'm gonna tell you shit that I think is funny. Because I had to, when I started, I had to get out of that. And like, okay, I got this joke. I tell my security joke, my grandma jokes, and I'd be like, it's funny because it's true and it's funny to me. Then after a while, certain shit wasn't always working.
Tell stories.
And it'd be like, I could tell, sorry, I got to tell, I'm just thinking this shit is funny, but the shit these people want to hear is like, they want to hear something else. So I can't just like when I rapped, it was like, the homie used to be like, oh, you got bars, and I wasn't into like making like kind of girl songs or like goofy shit. I was like, and it wasn't just killing niggas, it was just bars and actually rapping about certain shit. And rapping about it in a dope way. Mm-hmm. So the homie used to be like, sometimes every song ain't got to be like full throttle. Not even about, because I knew how to rap about other shit, but it was just, it was like I had to kind of know that, like, okay, you can turn it down or dial it back, because it's like everything. And so you can just do the, like, even when you're so good at certain shit, you can do the bare minimum. And that's like, people are like, oh, shit. Right. So,
you ain't got to try too hard.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a lot of like certain people said about a lot of white rappers do. Like, they could do like the bare minimum and niggas be like, oh shit. Like,
you brought that up because I've been wanting to say this for you, and I don't give a fuck if people get mad at this. You brought up white rappers, and
it's like damn near more them like getting pushed.
I don't think Eminem is that tight.
I think
I think he was tight for that era, but his music is not timeless.
I've had the same
I
argument.
do not fucking ride in my car playing, will the real Slim Shady please stand? We're going to have a problem here. Y'all shut the fuck up. Turn past.
Like Modesto and shit. You live in Modesto and like Lake LA. Those just be riding.
Like,
with the gas station.
But I just don't.
Shout out to them niggas though.
Don't get me wrong, for his era and what he did during that time.
So I've had this exact
legit.
argument with people.
I feel like a lot of black rappers and a lot of black
They get
hip hop
overlooked.
rappers and artists get overlooked for his spot just because he was a white guy. And it's like, bro,
So this is my argument with that. And
you
it's
can
not,
play.
I'm agreeing with you
like,
100%.
come on, man. Slick Rick more timeless than fucking Slim
When
Shady.
I argue with people over, and it's not even argue, when I debate people about Eminem, it's not that he's whack, it's that we stopped giving a shit about how tight you were because the content you were rapping about became shit a long time ago. So
like,
you can
'cause
you can go miracle,
in that
lyrical,
era-
era, all that shit, and it sounds dope, but you're not saying shit, and that's what Lord
Right,
Jamar said.
right,
Lord
right,
Jamar made
right,
the point of
right.
we don't ride around listening to niggas talk about
He
chopping
could
up
put
their
it
mom.
together, but it's like, come on, right.
Like Tech Nine talks that crazy
No.
shit, but he has his songs are like songs. When Tech Nine can say some crazy shit, but it's like dope. So it is not all the same crazy shit. So my argument was,
what do you say? Stick 6-inch nails in my eyelids and get, you know what I mean? Want to get dry like me?
and I look at it
bro. I
like the
wanna hear
niggas.
that
To me,
shit.
his last dope song was Overton. It was the Touch It remix. To me,
I don't know what the
do
fuck
you remember
that
Touch
is.
It with Papoose, Busta? It was Busta Rhymes song, and it had Papoose.
When it had the colors in the background and,
And it
all
was
of
like,
that.
and it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that was like Papoose, that touch it, ring it.
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
That was
yeah.
Eminem's last to me, like dope. Like you killed that shit. Like he was getting off. Like, and it was the shit he was saying. Like he bodied that shit. And it's not saying he can't, but he doesn't anymore. And he raps weird shit. The rapping, all that weird rapping
Yeah,
and voices. That shit is weird.
They gave him
And
too
it's-
much credit.
And
I
feel,
definitely want to go
I've
there
been
and say
said
that because a lot of people, in my opinion,
I don't do the inspirational
just
songs with
possibly
Rihanna,
be-
Watch Me Burn.
like, you know what I mean? I don't
the
give a
soundtrack
fuck.
music sounding shit.
I'm not playing that
type
shit
of
in my car
At
no
all.
more. They
At
call
all.
me Slim Shady. I'm back. I'm Slim Shady. Fuck out of here.
He's an
Nigga, I will play goddamn Barry White Practice What You Preach 3 times over and over.
just
Slim
turned-
Shady is not getting played up in there.
I just turned to the wave. Like, fuck it. Nigga. Like, if I ain't Bluetoothing some shit. But that's some real shit. Like, and I don't feel he's in that class of doing the bare minimum of white rappers. Because I think that of like, there's a lot of just dudes that's, they can hold a note or they can do a simple little dance move with their shoulders and motherfuckers like, oh, he black. That's like, you know what I mean? They give him that label like, oh, that nigga, he one of us because he did the bare minimum of like where niggas got to do everything. You got to have the it factor.
No white
and-
rappers, but shit.
Yeah, I'm not. But it's the same thing where there's black rappers that's whack as fuck. But they're
Definitely.
doing the bare minimum for them is doing what the last rappers did. I got the same color dreads as this nigga now. I got the same big Cuban as this nigga. I got the same. You know what I mean? They're doing the bare minimum of like, I just gotta look like that nigga to get in, and then I'll drop some shit that sounds like that nigga, and then do a video that looks like this nigga with this bitch, and then that's like, it's just the bare minimum.
Post
so.
Malone, all right, but I don't even play
Yeah,
that
even
shit.
with him though, I kind of had feelings because I'm like, nigga, it's the same shit with Iggy. Neither one of y'all came in. None of y'all started with a love of hip hop. Even if you listen to it, you weren't
that
hip hop
might be
artists.
it. That
Neither
might
one.
be it.
She was on some Britney
That
Spears
might be
shit in
it.
Australia before she
might
came
be
here.
it.
Like, and he was on some weird, I don't know what folk. Daisy Duke shorts wearing shit. That video, and now
Gothic.
I don't even know if it was Gothic. He was on some other
Butterfly
shit.
Effect.
But neither one of them did. Neither one. Did you pass this back to me? Or?
Yeah, I'll pass it to you.
Oh yeah, that's all you did. Yeah, neither one of them niggas to me started off with real life hip hop. This nigga the Crondon fucking.
Hey, I
chronic-
thought something was going on. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I need all y'all outside. What's the ass whooping about to go down? Like, so that's. I just feel like it's the bare minimum don't always work, but shit. So that's what we about to.
Most def. Yeah, most def. Most def.
We just going in different directions now.
Yeah, we is. Yeah, we is.
Innovative.
But it's definitely been a good one, Grams. Let the people know where they can find you at, bro. And
Tony-
any other shows or anything like that you want to put out there? You know what I mean?
Tony Grams on IG at Tony Grams, TONY_GRAMS. I got it's a car show. Innovative Culture will be there this Sunday in Santa Fe Springs, August 22nd. Starts at 10 a.m. But just check my story and everybody else you follow stories just so you can get the actual info. And for the rest of the month, I've probably hit a few little mics, but September I got like shit back to back. I have a show in Compton. You can check my page for the address, but a show in Compton September 10th. I'm at the Turp Market September 12th, and I'm at my boy Mark Boyd, who was here last week. He's hosting John Comedy at Johnny Pastrami's in the neighborhood I'm from, like off of Adams and Bronson, like where I literally still live over there. And it's a new bar they built. It has a stage, dope ass back like outside. So, and I was literally, it was crazy because one of the older homies over there was like, bro, you need to come up here with your comedy, blah, blah, blah. And then I see Mark did it. I was like, it was one of them like, damn. But it was like, just because of who it was like, that's dope. Like, you got to feel you ain't hating. Because if it was somebody else, I'd have been like, motherfucker. Right, but it was just, it's the homie. Like, that nigga's like one of my favorite comics that I know, like, personally, like, that I've actually been in Mike's shows. Like, we've done shit together. So I'll be doing that on September 15th and on Adams and Bronson, right where Johnny's Pastrami is. So that's literally all of. Right, for the rest of August, it's kind of up in the air, but September is like kind of solid. That's already coming through, and I got shit booked for October, like already. So just getting it together. That's all.
Most definitely, everybody, y'all good at Grams. You feel what I'm saying? Tap in with Grams. You know what I mean? It's the host with I ain't gonna hit him with the GGN. I almost wanted to go there. Snoop go try to sue me. We not doing none of that. It's been real. It's Moan. You know what I mean? Y'all tap in with ProHustle Zone. Feel me? Up on the website is up, www.prohustlezone.com. You feel me? There's no merch available. All the videos will be up on there as well. Got gaming content. You feel what I'm saying? You can also find the Instagram page, all of that up on there. You can DM me for merch if anything like that. You feel what I'm saying? And it's been real, and we out.
Innovative.